Hello, we're here today with Miss Landra Jennings, and she is the author of The Whispering Fog, which is one of the South Carolina Association of School Librarians' very newest nominees for the Junior Book Award. And I'm so thrilled that she could be with us today. Landra writes fantasy novels for preteens, ages 8 through 12, but she appreciates readers of all ages. I know so many adults who really enjoy your books. And Landra has an MBA from Northwestern University and an MFA in writing for children and young adults from Hamline University, where she won the Anne G. Schwab Scholarship in Excellence in Critical Writing and the Walden Pond Press Scholarship in Middle Grade Fiction and Nonfiction. Today, she lives with her husband and sons in Greenville, South Carolina, but still has a special place in her heart for Chicago, where her children were born. So I bet you enjoy the winters here a little bit better, or do you miss the snow?
Okay. We miss our friends, but not the weather.
Right. All right, we're joined today also. I'm Brenda Stevens, the librarian at Christ Church Episcopal Middle School, and we're also joined by a few students. We have Alexia here and Sharon, and they're also going to ask some questions. They've read The Whispering Fog and really enjoyed it. And so we're going to delve into that in just a little bit. But did you have any idea that The Whispering Fog would be a nomination this year?
No, I did not have any idea. It was a very nice surprise.
And how did you find out?
I found out, you kind of gave me a little bit of a hint to watch the presentation,
Right.
and then I watched it, and I thought, wow, this is incredible. So I was
That's
very
awesome.
excited.
Yes. So do you have plans for more school visits now that you've received the nomination?
Yes, I have 9 more schools I'm visiting this spring. I know at least one of them called me because of the nomination, so I'm excited.
And you might be even more busy in the fall.
It's
for
really
sure.
fun. I love them.
So what advice would you give to aspiring writers to start their own writing journey?
That was an interesting question. You gave me the questions ahead of time, so I was able to think on it a little bit. I think I really would say to enjoy the journey, because I think a lot of people kind of set out, me included, like, I got to get this, I want to write this book, I'm going to have this book published, and it's really, even when you get to that point, you're not done. You're still on your journey of writing. So I think it's more important to enjoy every little milestone as you go and enjoy the writing.
So for you, I know some writers, they can just, sit down and write, and some of them, they talk about it really takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work.
So, okay.
It's fun work, though. When I really get into it, I am so happy. So it's great.
So is it the creative writing process you enjoy, or the editing and the improving, or is it all part of the journey?
It's so interesting, that question, too, because I think I started out, when I started out my writing, I loved the writing, just the flow and kind of the work, and I still enjoy that a lot, too. But these days, I really love rewriting, and I'll talk about that in a little bit if you want. But
Perfect.
I love the editing and rewriting a little more.
So what techniques would you share with the students here and adults?
I would call it the blank page rewrite. So just if you've written a scene, or you've written a set of dialogue, or you've written just a little piece of creative writing, put it aside, don't look at it, take a blank sheet of paper and write the same thing over again, and let your natural creativity come out. And it is so interesting. It'll be better. It's better the second time.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the third time even. I mean, of course, you can't do it forever, but it is better.
I haven't heard of that technique, but that sounds...
So Kelly Barnhill told me she rewrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon like 50 times. The whole book.
Wow. Just start with a clean slate each
Clean
time.
slate.
And just pick the best.
Yes.
That's great. So are there any upcoming projects that you can share with us?
Yes, I am working on some additional middle grades that are scary.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm just at the beginning. It was a lot having 2 books come out in 2 years, and it was great. But it's been I'm not quite done with I'm just starting on the next book.
Well, I've shared with you before that The Whispering Fog was pretty scary to me as an adult. And I remember, I think, Alexia, you had it, and I talked to your father about it. I'm like, maybe she shouldn't read it at night or whatever. And he checked with you, and you were like perfectly fine. So,
Yeah.
But I think it was fabulous. Like I think it was scary enough for middle grade, but not keep you up at night scary. and so I think it was really a nice balance that you had there. Are there any other genres that you think you would be interested in writing in the future?
It's interesting you said that too about the scariness, because that was something I told you that surprised me about the reception to the work. Like, I thought it would be terrifying, because I thought I had really put the pedal down on the scariness, and most kids I talked to were like, we like it. It's nice and spooky. You know, it's spooky. Like, it's spooky, but it's not too scary. So that was interesting, because I thought it would be more terrifying.
Me too.
But yes, in terms of genres, I would love to do the text for a graphic novel at some point. I think that would be super fun.
Oh, yes.
But I'd like to stay with children's works.
Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to open it up now to Sharon first, which she has a few questions.
Are you proud of your novel?
Yes, I'm proud of my novel.
And what made you want to start writing?
I love that question, because it really was in like 5th, 6th, 7th grade that all the books that I was reading at that time were so inspirational to me, and I would read them over and over, like if I really loved a book. And so I started writing around that time. I mean, I stopped and started over the years, but it was really then, because the books I was so, like Wrinkle in Time, I just loved it so much, I wanted to write.
Does this story have a reference to your childhood?
Yes, there's definitely sprinkles of my childhood, in there. There's also like my kids' childhood, because my kids played USTA tennis, like the girls do. But yeah, there's definitely sprinkles of my childhood in there, but nothing direct. And it's not nonfiction.
And do you feel like you are closer to Nev or Rose?
So I'm a little more Nev than Rose, but what's interesting is I'm also the oldest of, I have 3 younger sisters, so in some ways I'm a little Rose. So, but I'm a little more Nev than Rose.
Alexia.
Thank you for your question.
What is your favorite part of the writing process?
Okay, it has become more of the editing and revising and rewriting, where, like I said, at first it was kind of more of the creative generation, but now I love the blank page rewrite, which I hated at first.
And what inspired or motivated you to write The Whispering Fog?
So that one is so interesting. It really evolved. Like, I was writing, sometimes I have a couple different creative writing pieces going at once. And I had one where I was like writing about this crotchety old witch in the woods, and I was kind of writing that. And then I had another, I was doing the fairy tale rewrite of Snow White and Rose Red, and I was kind of doing that, and I had the 2 girls in modern day. And I ended up putting the 2 together, and I liked the fit. I'm not sure sometimes what inspires me to start writing about stuff. It's a little interesting. When you go into that well of kind of creativity, it just comes out.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you for your questions.
Yeah, thank you for girls for being here and helping us interview Ms. Jennings, and we really look forward to your future writing, possibly a graphic novel. We don't know. And the 2 scary books that you're continuing to work on.
Yes.
So we again, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.